The Dude and Debo is based on true events. Only the facts have been changed.
Yo, Deuterino.
Yo, Debo.
All right. See, now I'm relaxed, bro, because I got my buttons that work and everything makes sense to me now. And I know you can't see me given the blue sky, but I'm here and I can hear you.
You look like Dr. Manhattan in the movie The Watchmen.
All right. I'll take
So if you, for our 6 podcast listeners, if you
Yeah.
have not seen The Watchmen,
Okay.
go watch it.
It's
It's got a great soundtrack.
All right. Oh, does it really?
It has amazing soundtrack.
This is the
and kind of what we were talking about earlier, the way they use the music in the
Right.
movie to heighten the scene.
right, of course.
It's perfect.
The Watchmen.
The Watchmen, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Give me a quick give me an idea on The Watchmen. What's it got?
It's like a superhero movie, the way that Nirvana is pop music.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Okay. All right. I'll go check it out.
Yeah.
I'll tell what. The last movie I checked out on your behalf was Deuterino. What is it?
The Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski.
You
Right.
checked it out like 30 years later.
Hey, bro. Hey, done. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. That's the important thing.
Are you still yelling at me at my homework? Yeah, it's turned in. I don't know what the problem is. Everybody's yelling at me. I'm done. You know. Anyways, but yeah, so it's a good. I'll check that one out. Never know. How's everything been with you, brother? Things been cool?
Man, it's good. I went to a music festival this weekend, as previously mentioned.
Right.
Life is beautiful.
We're doing, like we said, we're doing a little different. Yo midway instead of the yo in the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
so that's cool. So
I was telling G during the break that one of the bands I saw at Life is Beautiful was Green Day.
oh wow,
And they headlined Saturday night. And
That's really cool.
about 2/3 of the way through the set, they asked the audience, "Does anybody play guitar?" And of course, everybody's like, "Yeah, I do."
absolutely.
And then, and then they picked out this person. They're like, "How old are you?" And the person's like, "I'm 24. How long have you been playing guitar?" Like 12 years. "Are you good?" "Yeah." "Okay, come up on stage." And they're like, "Okay." And they go up on stage and they give them the guitar and they have like a quick conversation. And then they played a song together and this person crushed it. This dude, this 24-year-old person, like was out in front playing the song with Green Day. They're like doing the whole like
You're kidding.
Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future, like when he's playing the high school dance and he's just all over the stage and he's jumping and skipping. And they played a solo and they crushed it. And it was so good at the end. Green Day told him, like, "You're the best one we've had all tour.
No way.
You can keep the guitar."
No. Oh, come on. Stop it.
Swear.
Oh,
I was like, this is the coolest thing. This might be the coolest thing I've ever seen in person.
I mean, we all know of the idea of doing something like that, right? But I mean, in person, you've never actually seen it, and that's sick, dude.
It was awesome.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll shout out to him. There you go. Let the guy get on stage with that guy.
Hello.
And the guy's on stage, and
he's just the guitar is the person.
That's sick. That's really sick.
So good.
I'm gonna let that.
I'm
play.
sure it's on YouTube. Look it up on YouTube after you're done watching.
I'm watching it on YouTube. I'm watching it on. I'm listening to it. Yeah. Oh, you mean the thing? Yeah, you're right.
The actual From Life is Beautiful with the person playing the guitar.
Yeah. I gotta wait for it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Fun fact about the dude: Green Day was my second ever concert.
Oh wow! Fun fact. Good concert.
Great concert. I've now seen them twice. Both times were amazing.
I think
the first one back in the day was for the Dookie album.
Nice. Young man back in the day, mosh pitting.
Yeah, I saw it at the Pond in Anaheim. I was probably 13.
Wow.
Maybe a little younger. I don't remember, 12 maybe.
That sounds like a pretty fun time. for a 12-year-old.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. It was great. 12, 13, when Green Day came out and they were popular, when the Dookie album came out,
absolutely.
it was like,
And for things that for kids who like rides, you go to Disneyland, probably have a good time. For a kid, that lived in Orange County and go to the pond and see Green Day, I can imagine that's like top 5, top 10, maybe up there.
Yeah, I mean, very fortunately, I've been to a lot of concerts, so I don't know where that ranks anymore.
Yeah,
but at the time, it was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever done.
Yeah. All right. Well, dude, we were doing a high five of sorts, back and forth. Well, remember, we did the Rolling Stones list. That's what we did. We're about to get in a high five.
We talked about it.
Yeah, we got it. We talked about it. A little bit of Kanye to. Kanye to what we're going to discuss. Actually,
I'm still not convinced that there's 499 songs better than Stronger, but that's all right. I'm willing to move on from that topic.
It's a fair argument. So let's go ahead and give them the top. Let's give them the top 5. The Rolling Stones.
The current Rolling Stones top 5.
Right.
You want me to go 5 to 1 or 1? I'm gonna go 5 to 1. I'm not gonna.
Always 5.
Let's go 5 to 1.
5 to 1.
All right. Number 5, Nirvana. Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Nice. By the way, my man who put his thing together, top 100. That was number 1. Okay.
Right ahead of Joe Smith's all-time guitar song, which is close. How do you decide between the two? Only a trained musical ear.
It says number 3 on this playlist, so I'm gonna go ahead and click.
Yeah. Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, number 5. Bob Dylan, Like a Rolling Stone, number 4.
There you go,
Bob Dylan. If you listen to our part 1, you'll know that the 2004 list had that at number 1, so it fell 3 spots in how many 17 years.
17, and no Elvis. No Elvis. And Bob Dylan. Who was it again?
Bob Dylan. Like a Rolling Stone.
Rolled his stone 3 clicks. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
All right. Keep going.
Which is a good song. I don't know if it's the best Bob Dylan song, but it belongs on the list somewhere. Maybe not number 4. Number 3, Sam Cooke. A Change Is Gonna Come.
Man, when I saw that, I was born by the river.
Yeah.
In a little town. Oh man, I had to go. I was like, yeah. You can stay right there, bro. You can stay right.
Play that all day.
You just leave that right where he's at. Who did he kick? Roll on down. Go that way, Bobby. Okay.
Roll on that way, Stone.
In a little town. Oh.
This is going to be great. I can't wait till we do our top 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow your mind.
All right. But anyways, a great song. Great song.
Belongs about where it's at on the list.
I think it's in a rightful spot. I think he's doing okay. He's doing just fine.
Number 2,
there you go.
Public Enemy, Fight the Power.
Perfect.
Fight the power.
Perfect. Do you like? I don't know. If I love the song. Okay. But
number 2. Is it better than Stronger?
Stronger is number 500. Fight the power.
I love the song. It was on the original iPod when that came out. Like, this is one of the songs I had to have on there. It belongs on the list. Number 2, though, I don't know.
Number 2 is a little. Now, again, number 3, rightful spot. Number 4 has moved from number 2. But let's go to number. Where were you at? Number 1.
Number 1.
All right.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Aretha Franklin.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T. That's what need to me.
Sing it to me.
Little respect. A little bit of that.
Yeah.
Little respect.
Can I tell you, this may be blasphemy. Can I tell you the problem I have with Aretha Franklin being number 1?
Okay.
It's a cover. It's an Otis Redding song. How are you going to put a cover number 1?
By the dock of the bay, I was sitting by. You think that guy?
I mean, I don't think Otis Redding should be number 1.
That's why it's because back to our conversation that you'd have to listen to part 1 to even understand what we're talking about. Where are you coming from, List? Because it sounds like to me you're coming from a place of what people wanted to hear. And I think people wanted to hear respect. They wanted to hear, and not people, movies wanted to play the respect. Because
it's all over the place.
Because it's all over the place. The other song, I was on my river. People want to feel that right now in these times where life is, and I think that music and the choice of these 1, 2, and 3, especially with number 2, especially with number 2's placement, "Fight the Power," where we are in our time is where this list is being presented. It's not being presented by a genre or a strong 500 versus number 2. I mean, we could kumite that, bro. I mean that'd be good. But it is. It's. I think this is the people. This is what they wanted to hear. And I think the 3 closers: Respect, Fight the Power, and I always forget the title of this number 3, dude.
I clicked away from it.
Sorry,
I was looking for something else. It's Sam Cooke.
Thank you, Sam. Sam Cooke.
It's A Change Is Gonna Come.
Sam Cooke and the other Sam. I always get them confused in my head. So, but anyways, Sam Cooke.
A Change Is Gonna Come.
Change. What's number 4? Number 5.
Number 4 was Bob Dylan, like a Rolling Stone.
But I feel like a Rolling Stone. See where it got moved from in this list. We wanted to hear this, and then we're like, actually, we need to hear this because we gotta feel good and tell people how we feel, and that's the reflection that I feel.
I mean, I think they also were like, "Is that really Bob Dylan's best song? Maybe we should move it down a little bit.
We can switch places,
hedge our bets here." Here's the other thing: we talk about Elvis not being on this. I'm sure he's somewhere in the top 500, but he's not where he was 17 years ago when it came out.
My man's list, I think he's number 4, right after him, number 3. But yeah,
my man's better than Elvis. We'll take it. But interestingly enough, I'm thinking about Public Enemy, "Fight the Power." Gino's the lyric I'm thinking about. In Public Enemy, "Fight the Power," Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me.
Yeah.
That song's number 2, and Elvis gets kicked off the list.
Wow.
No coincidence.
Wow. How do you feel about that line, dude? El Duderino, how do you feel about that line?
I remember the first time I heard that.
Uh-huh.
I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Number one, I related to it because Elvis was a previous generation, right?
Correct.
Like my dad used to listen to Elvis.
Correct.
I used to have to listen to that getting driven to school. Ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. I was like, what the fuck is this boring shit? Like, this dude, you're trying to tell me this dude was the greatest musician because he sold all these records, and I want to go to sleep.
Right.
And then PE comes out, "Fight the Power." Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. And I'm like, yes, that is what I feel. That is what I want to hear. So when I first heard it, I was like, this is signaling a change in course for music.
One of the first albums that ever really struck a chord with me was NWA's album. That they released, I think, in like 87, 88, 89, somewhere in that
end of the 80s.
Yeah, end of the 80s. And it was one of my first albums that I played over and over again. That could be any album for any person for at any time at any point in life. Okay,
right.
This was mine. Okay, there's some interesting stuff in there. Really, probably not for kids at 9 and 10 years old.
But that's again a generational thing because we were at that age when rap, hip hop started to enter the mainstream, and nobody knew what to do with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you were getting explicit lyric stickers, parental advisory stickers. You couldn't buy it unless you were 18.
Right.
And we had
a
get
boy,
little sticky fingers at the warehouse.
We had our boy at the warehouse to hook that. You got that.
You had to have connections to get certain things.
Right.
I remember I had to get a Too Short album, and my mom took it back. So you can't listen to Too Short.
Right. Well, NWA, Dog Pound, the 90s set a tone. For me, hip-hop was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all sorts of hip-hop. But when you dig, because I was young at the time, into hip-hop, you find jazz. When you dig into hip hop, you find funk, and you find disco. You really do, because it's what it's built upon. It's you took those albums, you sampled them, you put them back.
I was gonna
in.
say, especially when sampling.
Yeah, that's what you did. It just it's how it was. It's how the craft was born, right? And but back then, NWA, Boyz II Men had a decent album.
Boyz II Men had a solid
Motown
run.
Philly, I think Motown Philly was the album. Yeah,
Back Again.
Yeah, that was a great album. Got some play. And we lived here on the
Put a little East Coast in.
Well, exactly. We lived here on the West Coast, so we had more Tupac, way more, and not as much Biggie. You know
Well,
what I mean?
NWA, I remember I bought the first 3 Ice Cube solo albums
Oh wow.
because he was my favorite member of NWA.
Uh-huh.
And I was too young to know, why they broke up and all that. I just knew that I liked this dude.
This guy.
And then his first 3 solo albums were
Right.
bangers.
Right. Absolutely. Just
They
killed
just
it.
crushed it.
Just
And I was like,
crushed
this guy is the greatest musician of all time.
Yeah. Against
I was probably a little off, but
you were well,
Ice Cube, respect.
I don't know. I'm just between Q and Dre. I mean, they probably both bumped Hound Dog out the way. So
I'm sure.
I mean, but you were your whole life, like the line said, this dude sold all these records, but he don't mean shit to me.
You don't mean shit to me.
I mean, the Beatles are another generational icon.
Yeah.
I like their music though too. That's the problem. I mean, there are some Beatles songs that they sing that I can still get into today.
I still ride with the Beatles,
Right.
not the whole catalog.
No,
I gotta
absolutely
pick
not.
and choose.
Pick and choose. I mean, I'm no jacket for me. Maybe like a badge, not a sticker. I'll wear a badge,
Yeah.
Beatles badge. But it there's some good. All the leaves are all the.
I don't think that's the Beatles.
Who's that again?
I don't think that's the Beatles.
So guys, get the record. Who was that again? Who's? There's a guy.
That's probably the Birds spelled with a Y.
G knows who
The
that is.
Mamas and the Papas.
Thank you, Mamas and the Papas. It's written right here.
That's a different generation.
Uh,
That's what it is.
No, who was there's the Beatles songs very similar to that in the same Yesterday. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, there you go. Yesterday.
All my troubles seem so far away.
But I mean, there's a million. The thing
that
about
was
the Beatles
covered
is
by
there's
Boys to Men.
But it was covered by then. That's the thing. I would have never. But listening to the original today, I can still get down with the Beatles. I can still listen to the Beatles today, yesterday. Same way I can listen to. I'm gonna take it back, y'all. I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna go past Rogers, yo.
NWA.
No, I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna go past Rogers, yo. I can still listen to Bach. Okay, I can
The
still,
what?
the Bach.
Really, you get down to
I
to
get
Johann? To Sebastian?
I get down to me some Sebastian, son. Why? Because the melodies are there. Whether
smoking weed, you forget to change the station.
absolutely not. Because the problem is, dude, is you listen to the same music, but you just watch it in a movie.
Yeah,
Right, exactly. And so then when you go back to a scene and you see the scene, you start crying. You're like, "This is the greatest scene in the world." And you're like, "What song is this?" I don't know, but it's amazing. Right, exactly. It's Bach, bro. I mean, you listen to my band, you're listening to orchestra music, and that is again, people don't just listen to it anymore. I mean, it's a generational thing when it comes to music, especially if you take it back that far. But I still, this is where we're getting the difference between Elvis, Hound Dog, a generational icon who did well, Bach and Beethoven, whose music alone gets to be played by generations. That didn't matter. I mean, the guy wrote it, and so we get to play it. It still sounds the same. Still sounds great.
Right.
And we still use it today in popular culture. Very, very popular culture. 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
You'll never not journey somewhere in your mind when you hear these tones, these French horns, just
Right.
You're like, what the hell is going to happen? You freak out in your brain for a second. You don't know why, but they got you. Jaws got you with 2 notes.
Jaws did get me.
Jaws got you with 2 notes, bro. And again, music is just so it's big, bro. It's huge. It's giant. And we want to pick a top 5. All right, let's do it. Let's bring it down. They got
Last
their top
thing
5
before we get to our top.
All right, let's
5,
go for it.
The other biggest change is that now it's about single songs, right? It used to be when we were growing up, like that was the last generation of albums.
Yeah, you're
Even if you only liked one song on the album, you had to buy the album.
I'll say-
and then eventually you would listen to it enough that you would like a couple other songs.
right. Yeah,
But now you can just buy the song you like.
it's all singles now.
Yeah.
Because there were still singles. Because I was so funny. I can tell you're lying, because when you're replying, you stutter, 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 stutter. I went through my CD book, right, and there was Joe Stutter right there in the
Nice.
in my CD book, right, and I'm like, yeah, I got the single, yeah, I did it, yeah, absolutely, I did, because back then buying a single was a sign of weakness. What?
Right.
You just want the single? You just buying you don't like the whole artist?
You're not a real fan.
You're not a real fan of the artist. No, I'm not. I'm not a real fan. I just want to.
No, I just like this song.
Just like
the
the
song
song.
gets stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I just like Gone Till November.
Yeah. and it's like the thing is, no, I'm a fan of all music, but there was my single. That was a single story. But now it's all singles. Now everybody understands the point of a single, which is to introduce someone to an artist.
Right.
And then if you like the artist, you'll come back. And if you don't, that's fine. The artist.
And you may just like the song and not
Right.
like the artist, but at least you still have access.
Right. And yesterday we absolutely, I'll say it in conjunction. That's a fun word. Thank you. With Michael Jackson. The artist and the music is hard to separate.
Yeah.
2021, we're still dealing with separating the artist from music right now. I have feelings about that, and Josh has feelings about that. I'm sure G has feelings about that. Artist from the music, do we just
That'll be a fun conversation because my top 5 is going to involve that.
Yeah, well, I mean, because we don't know what Beethoven did. We don't. I mean,
No, but I guarantee there's a much greater possibility that Beethoven liked 14-year-olds because of the generation.
I'm not here to put. Listen, I didn't wake up this morning to put Beethoven on blast. All right.
I woke up this morning with violence in my heart.
I did not. I woke up, and evidently someone told me it was a beautiful life. Okay, so I'm going with that. Okay, so I didn't wake up to put Beethoven on blast. All I'm trying to say is, separating the artist from the music can take time, and there obviously has been not enough time between the last 100 years and music, because that's really what we're talking about when someone talks about their top 5. They're not talking or top 10. They're not talking about anything from Beethoven.
I didn't see Beethoven at all in the Rolling Stone list.
Yeah,
not in the top 5.
Nothing.
It's probably 501.
And again, I've had this outside conversation to have this inside conversation about where is this coming from, right, dude? Is it genre? Is it generation? Is it type of music? Is it the rolling? Where is this coming? Where is this coming from? And reality is they're coming from the people. That's where I feel like they came from. People want to hear this. Like almost like the radio station call-in list, right? But from your and my perspective, dude, let's go to it, man. Let's fire these off, brother. Are you ready for your number 5?
You want to go your 5, my 5, your 4, my 4, or how do you want to do it?
I'm gonna listen. I refuse to say this is my top 5. I still will. I won't.
You have to name 5 songs.
I'm going to name 5 songs. I'm gonna name 5 songs, but I refuse to accept the terms of the agreement. That's all.
Let's do this. You want to do a couple honorable mentions before we get started?
I have 5 songs. Don't get me wrong. I have 5 songs.
Yeah.
I have.
But do you need to get a couple more off your chest?
No, I got
a few
them.
honorable mentions.
I got them. You go ahead and throw your honorable mentions out there. Throw them out there because I got my 5, but I'm just saying like I can't do. I mean, I'm starting with Mr. Rogers. I'm gonna throw my number 5 out there right now, just so that
do your number 5. Right now.
There it is, number 5. There it is, number 5. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The song as we heard of the entrance as it came in. It's not It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. It's not It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Okay, it's the closer.
What is it?
It's such a